Tonight, former actress and sex cult criminal Allison Mack is naming names, and big Hollywood names at that. Why does Hussein have some explaining to do? Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who don't know, I start off each one of these episodes by saying thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so thank you so much to each and every one of you. If you have not hit the subscribe button, please come over here and click the big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as these videos get posted, you'll be notified, because as soon as information is made available to me, I make it available to you. That is my promise. Now, jumping right into the latest Q post, we're going to talk about what in the world is going on here. This is some really disturbing stuff right off the bat. So first off, Q posts. Mac is naming names, big names in Hollywood, government, local, federal. Proof. The Standard Hotel, helicopter crash, all related. Future will prove past. Adam Schiff, feeling okay today? Why is the Mexico border Long Beach port so important? TikTok LLC Q. Okay, so first off, we have really crazy connections here to the creator of The Simpsons and Obama and this Talk Corporation based out of California, it would seem. And we'll jump right into it. First, what is Q talking about here? Well, if you want to kind of catch up to where we're at right now, definitely go back here and watch my last video if you want to get kind of filled in on what we're going to talk about a little bit here. But first, it's going to be Allison Mack. And who is Allison Mack? She is the Smallville actress who has been arrested for her role in the alleged sex cult. Now, what sex cult was it? We go over this in the last video, but it was the NXIVM sex cult led by Keith Raniere, where there's an indictment against Keith Raniere that is out, where it actually cites an accomplice to Mr. Raniere, and that unnamed accomplice turned out to be Allison Mack. What did she do? She was involved in the sex cult. She apparently took slaves, allegedly, and was a slave herself to a degree. So that is all being fleshed out here. But what Q is basically saying is that Allison Mack is naming names, that they're big names in Hollywood. Now, the Standard Hotel is something you guys will remember, where we had a tragic helicopter crash, and we actually talked about this, and Q pointed to this a while ago, talking about the mysterious deaths. He said, more mysterious deaths, huh? And this was 3 people. One was the manager of the Standard Hotel. And obviously this was a tragedy where there was just no real explanation other than the flight went down in suspicious circumstances, some mechanical failure. So obviously, or pilot error. That's what Q's referring to with the Standard Hotel helicopter crash. And this is all related. Q's telling us future will prove the past. And then he points directly at Adam Schiff. We know Adam Schiff. He represents the district in California where the Standard Hotel is. He's been implicated with the Little Kids Foundation, so on and so forth, all allegedly, but definitely there are ties there between all of these people, and it's pretty sick when you really look at what it is. It makes me sick to even think about it, but we have to expose these people for what they are, and we have to bring light where there's darkness. So, feeling okay today? Talking to Adam Schiff. Obviously, he shouldn't be. Why is the Mexico border and Long Beach port so important? Well, obviously, it's where they're smuggling humans in. And I think I've figured out what Talk LLC is definitely referring to. So there's a corporation called Talk LLC. It's a restaurant chain. And if you look at what they do, it's basically like they host these big parties. You look at this, and the average price per guest is, what, $200 a person? And Q's been telling us how good these people are with technology, and so is Trump. We'll watch him giving an address right here where he actually talks about the technology and how much better it's gotten. So, I mean, you'll hear it straight from his lips to your ears about how human trafficking has become so advanced because they're so incredibly good with technology.
We can't emphasize enough, not only drugs. The drugs are a big factor. But you look at human trafficking is worse than it's ever been in the history of this world. And who would think in its modern day age? And they're using very sophisticated equipment, and they use the internet better than practically anybody uses the internet. So it really is a big problem. But I just want to thank everybody. That was an incredible.
So obviously I did a little bit more digging after just looking at what Talk LLC actually is. And as I'm pointing out to you, it is a restaurant application. But what better way, hypothetically, I'm not making any accusations here, but I'm saying if a technology company that were maybe involved with human trafficking would want to make an app, a secret app maybe, or a way to order things that, or a way to connect networks where, say people want to pay to go to a restaurant to get something more than just food, hypothetically, what would they use? Well, and then you look at this and you can go through actually who their investors are. They're actually very much tied to Chicago and some pretty interesting venture capital firms. But what stood out to me is first off, you have the former CEO of Twitter here, Dick Costolo. Then you have James L. Brooks. And for those of you who don't know who James L. Brooks is, he's one of the co-creators of The Simpsons. And he actually was who made the Mary Tyler Moore Show. And he has very many connections to Hollywood, has been there since the beginning, considered one of the probably godfathers of certain genres in TV. So that's just one connection. But then when you look at it in aggregate with other people who are here on the board, you have the University of Chicago, a professor who has been cited being on Obama's academic dream team, quote unquote, that helped him win the 2012 election using a team of psychologists to brainwash us, basically. And you can see he's mentioned right here. In addition, the consortium included Susan Fisk, Samuel Popkin, Robert Cialdini, and a professor, and Richard Thaler, a professor of behavioral science and economics at the University of Chicago. And it said it was a kind of dream team that came together to formulate Obama's strategy for the 2012 re-election bid. Right, and this was written on November 12th, so shortly after the election, doing a victory lap and patting everyone on the back, not realizing they were exposing themselves as being all connected back to Obama and others. And you have Howard Tillman. It's just the list is interesting to look at. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying certainly more research into this company would be very much needed. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. You guys can come check out their website for yourself. It's called talkhq.com. That's TOCKHQ.com. And you guys let me know what you think. But that's pretty much what I put together from Talk LLC. Interesting people connected, and being that it's stationed out of that area in California, could that be important? Now, next one. An AN0N post. Allison Mack is singing like a canary, as Alan Dershowitz would say. Q says, canary palm tree signal Q. Now he's talking about this picture here, which is of the canary palm tree. So it was obviously a double meaning there. He was giving us a message that there was canaries singing, obviously, which is incredible. Now, jumping forward, the next post. This is Allison Mack. This is her, looks like Twitter account, where she's actually posting on January 23rd a picture of Marina Ambrovich. So that connects her, Allison Mack, the actress from Smallville, who has been arrested and now is flipping on everyone, explains her connection to Marina Ambrovich and spirit cooking. Now, the next one is this picture of Hussein and some little girl. And who is this little girl? Well, an AN0N post here, Wendy, and that AN0N would be correct. Who this little girl is Maggie Nixon, also known as Maggie Wendy Nixon. Now, who is Maggie Wendy Nixon? she is obviously somebody who is very much being discussed here as we go further. But it says over the target. This is Q. Expand further. Wendy, Hussein, Mac, Adam Schiff. And he gives an article here. Now, what is this article? West Hollywood's Mariah Sunshine Coogan identified as victim in Scottsdale plane crash. So this person was obviously somebody who was in the same position as some of these other girls, Allison Mack, in the NVIXM or NXIVM club, sex cult, where they practiced all types of barbarism, slavery, probably Luciferianism, and pedophilia, and brainwashing and training sex slaves. I mean, it's just incredible. But anyway, this woman was obviously somebody who knew something, who was put down, apparently, according to Q, allegedly. Now, it says open source Q. That's basically what that's explaining there. And this whole subject troubles me, so excuse me for just feeling awful having to bring this information to you. But it makes me feel good to know that I'm bringing justice to these people, because it just reminds me of how evil they are, and that it generates my energy to want to cover this and bring this information to you guys. So Q is responding to his own post here. He says, the door will be opened later. The choice to know will be yours. End. Q. So if you want to know the truth, stick around and you'll hear it. If not, go ahead and turn it off now. Q responds to his own post again. As the world turns. Q. Now, the next one. In response to that, he posts this article talking about this. Agnes Nixon. Who is Agnes Nixon? Well, she's one of the writers for As the World Turns. She died recently at the age of 93. A lot of people have made the connection obvious and plain that the most famous incident of modern history was, or one of the most famous, was JFK being assassinated. And what the TV show that was interrupted to report it apparently was As the World Turns. That's the TV show that was playing across the country at the time that was interrupted in order to bring the news of John F. Kennedy's assassination. Now, it talks here about her and her, I think this would be her granddaughter, Maggie. Now, granddaughter Maggie is the one that we're talking about here as being seen and pictured with Obama, Hussein, a bunch. Okay? Now, the next one, Q is responding to his post saying, hint, Hussein and Maggie, Wendy, how many pics can you find of them together, age 10, 11, 12, Q? So this is going to be definitely a call to action to all you guys out there. Come over to my Twitter page at Justin_forum. I've been having a great time tweeting out all your posts, so please come tweet at me and I will repost it at Justin_formed. And that way, if you guys have any pictures you can find of this, please send them over. Nothing graphic, nothing pornographic, hopefully, God, please. But just please, if you guys can make the memes and all that, share them with me, and I will post them, and we will continue to spread that information far and wide. But that's what he's saying. Q's saying, look, how many pictures are out there of them together? There's something weird going on. Now, the next one, an AN0N post. Holy crap, he's been diddling her since she was 10, as in the question form. Obviously no evidence is forth yet that would prove any of this. This is mere speculation. But Q responds by saying, Three Ring Circus, and it's this person who is related to Maggie Nixon, and they're talking about this time. And if you read through what the post actually says, it says, time flies, love this shot taken here on North Street just a few weeks before at Barack Obama announced, my gal Maggie Nix was just 10, and hashtag Obama didn't have a special or a speck of gray. And it gives some hashtags. And then the next one says, somebody responds, so remember this day, how the Secret Service scared the you-know-what expletive out of me when I went down into the basement to get paper for Bobby homework, and how you and Bob told me this is going to be the next president. And I was more like, yeah, sure. And then this woman responds, Nobody believed us. It was the night to remember for sure. Have you seen Yossi's pics on Facebook? So this person at Three Wing Circus, her last name I believe is Nixon as well. So I'm not sure exactly what the connection is, other than that might be her mom. And I think that's actually is her mom. And who is her mom friends with? You guys guessed it, and we're going to get into that. It's just, yeah, this is insanely sick. Next one, AN0N post. Why does image search for Maggie Nixon and Obama return an image of Ambrovich and DeFranco only? I think we are over the target. Q responds, bigger than you can imagine. POTUS warning shot. Mac snowball. Why is Hussein pictured with this Hollywood child many times? What are pet names? Conspiracy. Q. Well, I mean, that's kind of speaking for itself. He's telling us that this is a warning shot probably across the bow for the deep state Obama Hussein backed syndicates to understand that, look, this information is going to come out if it's true. You can't cover up this kind of sickness. You can't. No one, no patriot, no oath keeper, no true American patriot, God-loving, God-fearing man or woman is going to stand for this kind of evil in our government. And we will stand up against it, and we will fight it at every chance that we can. It's just very sad that we have to be here. That's what he's talking about there. That's basically the suggestion here, that it's going to be a snowball effect. Allison Mack is just the tip of the iceberg, that she's going to expose so much. And, pet names, these children kept as pets. Is that what the insinuation is being made? And or her pet name would be Wendy. Yeah. This is unimaginably disturbing. Now, like I said, the next one here, it says, look who Maggie's mom is friends with, none other than James Alefantis, the pizza man himself. Q responds, you can't imagine the size of this conspiracy risk planned for later. Q. So they're not going to turn over everything they have right now. And I know before you guys get in the comments and start yelling at me, saying that, it's despicable that they're letting this go on. Well, they're fighting it behind the scenes. Okay. But some things you just can't make public. Imagine if people were under trial and certain things were made public, then they could get off scot-free. And is that what you want? Ask yourself that question before you start complaining about the fact that we don't get enough information here. Because if certain things were put out, then certain trials, like what's happening with the cult leader from the sex cult and his Allison Mack and these other co-conspirators, if certain information were to get out, then it could possibly give cause for a mistrial in which these people would get off scot-free. And that's not what we're looking for. So, going into the next one, though this is interesting that the Comet Ping Pong guy is friends with the mom of this chick who, this little girl is being seen with Obama all the time. And like I said, if you guys can find any more information, please share it with me down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on exactly what is going on here. But going into the next post, an AN0N post in response to these few posts here, and they're all pointing to this, right? It says Edward Snowden, at Snowden, saying, when we look back on today, we will find the most important national security story of the year. The most important national security story of the year. Spontaneous organization is the hardest for adversaries to counter. Yes, that is exactly it. And what does that mean? Well, he's saying that the day that this information is broken, as in today, has only been made possible through spontaneous organization. And it's the most important national security story of the year in the sense that these people, the highest levels of our government, if this stuff turns out to be true, they're trying to say that Trump's compromised. If you're diddling a 10-year-old kid, allegedly, you're going to be the one who's compromised now. Could you imagine the kind of blackmail that could be used against you in that kind of scenario? And what has been happening over the past who knows how many years? Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here, and it's despicable, it's deplorable, it's disgusting, and the AN0N post is at Snowden talking about us, and then Q says the world is watching. Q, and the world is watching. You, me, the clowns, the good actors, the bad actors, the wizards, the warlocks, they're all here. This is the genesis of all information related to the truth that's going to be coming out in the future. So if you want next week's news, just keep tuning into these QAnon posts so that you can figure out stuff for yourself. But I want to thank each and every one of you for coming here and watching. Now, we're going to take a look at what Trump's been tweeting lately, because he's made a few very interesting tweets that I wanted to point out. Obviously, here's a great one. Just heard the campaign was sued by the obstructionist Democrats. This can be good news in that we will now counter for the DNC server that they refused to give the FBI, the Debbie Wasserman Schultz server, and documents held by the Pakistani mystery man, and Clinton emails. Hooray! This is perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. It's exactly what Q was saying. We set the trap. They walked right into it like the fools that they are. In desperation, they did not see clearly. Now, the next one. This is direct, and I think it's perfect. James Comey illegally leaked classified documents to the press in order to generate a special counsel. Therefore, the special counsel was established based on an illegal act. Really, does everybody know what that means? That's the thing. This is pretty cut and dry. What Trump's laying out here is that Comey lied to generate surveillance. That's an illegal act. This person needs to go to jail. This is the time when we have to stand up and keep tweeting out and keep calling senators and keep lighting fires wherever we can metaphysically in order to change hearts and minds and show them what's truly going on. And you guys can read this one for yourselves, the last one here, but a message from Kim Jong-un. North Korea, quote, North Korea will stop nuclear tests and launches of intercontinental ballistic missiles. Also will, quote, shut down a nuclear test site in the country's northern side to prove the vow to suspend nuclear tests, progress being made for all. Trump's delivering. And he solved this North Korea thing like it was nothing. I think obviously because we've already been there, which is what we pointed out in the last video yesterday, if you want to watch it, about Nancy Pelosi and her complete lunacy, so on and so forth. But that's going to be it for this episode, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Please let me know what you think, and please come over and tweet at me. But if you're looking for a way to contribute to the channel, the easiest way you can contribute is to come here. If you have not clicked the subscribe button, please click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified when these videos get posted. That's the easiest way you can help out. It really means a lot to me, and thank you so much to everybody who already has done that. Now, the second best way you can contribute is to go down, it's my favorite way, and leave comments. Let me know your thoughts, theories, insights, whatever you think could be going on with this. Because like I say, at the end of each one of these videos, we have our own QAnon research board in the comments where we go over each one of the posts and we consider different alternative possibilities for meaning. And we just continue to make this great dialogue. There's so many thoughtful people down there. And if you can't comment, at least go down and read through the comments. I guarantee you'll learn something you did not know previously to watching the video that you are watching right here. That's definitely the two best ways. But if you're looking for another way to contribute, I need all the help I can get. You guys don't even know. There's a lot going on. But I just have so many solid supporters here, and I need more just help so I can keep going. That's really the trick to it all. So thank you so much for coming here to patreon.com. That's patreon.com. You can search Just Informed Talk. You'll come to this landing page. Click this button to become a patron. Come check out my rewards and my goal. You can actually earn rewards in exchange for your donation, and at different levels you get different rewards. Your first could be you can earn a email correspondence with me. You can become a featured Patreon patron for an episode, or you can actually also have the chance to get a t-shirt, the official Just Informed Talk limited edition, Is Trump QAnon. It says Just Informed Talk on the front, Is Trump QAnon on the back. You can come check that out for your donation. Really, truly appreciate it. So it's not just a one-way street. You guys definitely get something in return. Now, that's going to be it for that. Now we're going to talk about the most important thing. And why is God the most important thing to talk about? Well, there's too many times in life where we try to put ourselves in the position to know everything. And one of the basic fundamentals of being human is possessing humility. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Humans need humility. And what is humility? Well, that's the ability to humble yourself. That's the ability to understand that you don't know everything. But in our humility, we also have to understand that there is a person who has supreme wisdom, and his name is our Lord God, Jesus Christ. And here's a very great passage talking about wisdom and how it can bring you happiness. And for those of you who want to read it for yourself, it's Proverbs chapter 3, and the story is called Wisdom Brings Happiness. It says, "Happy is a man who finds wisdom and who acquires understanding, for she is more profitable than silver, and her revenue is better than gold. She is more precious than jewels. Nothing you desire compares with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left, riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant, and all her paths peaceful. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her, and those who hold on to her are happy. The Lord founded the earth by wisdom, and established the heavens by understanding. By his knowledge the watery depths broke open, and the clouds dripped with dew. Maintain your confidence and discretion. My son, don't lose sight of them. They will be life for you, and adornment for your neck. Then you will go safely on your way. Your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. You will lie down, and your sleep will be pleasant. Don't fear sudden danger, or the ruin of the wicked when it comes, for the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from a snare." Well, I'm not sure clear, more prophetically profound words have been spoken. That is truly where we must seek our guidance and our wisdom, is from the Lord. Because as you heard there, he only has good things planned for us as long as we listen and follow his will. There's a divine nature in life that we all are subject to the laws of. And ultimately, total resignation to the power of God is what will ultimately save us all and bring us our eternal salvation with the Lord. So, for those of you out there, I hope those words went to help you strengthen yourself and to regain your humility so that you can understand that the Lord's wisdom is where we should seek our guidance and our motivations, not through our own vain attempts to please our ego. So that's where I'll leave it. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Again, if you don't take anything else away from the show, my prayer is that you guys take away what we just went over about God and how great his grace truly is, and how easily attained it is by each and every one of you through a simple prayer and an opening of your heart to the Lord and bringing him in. But that's going to be it. I really wish you all the best. Again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you can come over here and click the big red subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell, and then you can join our initiative here. And please go down and leave your comments and thoughts. I'd really love to hear them. But that's going to be it for me. I want to say thank you all for watching. This has been Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed, and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.